Masters Week, newsletter, video. Let's get straight onto it. Over to Logan on putters.
Thank you very much, Rob. Now let's talk about some putters. So as you can see, we have a wide variety here of your classical blade putters to your more modern mallet putters. All brands offer both. Typically with your mallet putters, they are face balanced, which promotes a straight back, straight forward kind of stroke. And with your blade putters, they tend to be toe hanging, which means it will suit more of an arced stroke with your putter. Come down to the shop today, we can find the putter that suits your stroke and will improve your game the most.
Logan, thank you so much for that video on putters. Now, as it's the Masters weekend, we've got a great deal for you. If you spend over £50 on any items of clothing, excluding the clothing we have on the sale rail, you will receive a tailor-made Tour Preferred glove, which is valued at £20. These are fantastic, fully leather, and it's the glove you'll see this week on the Masters. So let's go over to Alex to see his video this week.
Thanks, Lewis. Following on from Rob's video last week of his what's in the bag, I'm going to do what's in my bag. As you can see, I play Titleist. So we're going to start at the bottom of the bag at my wedges. So I have the brand new SM9 Vokey wedges in the chrome finish. I have a 50, 54 and a 60 degree wedge. The reasoning for the 50 and the 54, that's purely for gapping through the bag. And then the 60 degree is the most loft I could get for danger shots like out of bunkers or getting it up and down as quick as possible. Now I play an F grind in the 50, so that's the full grind because I tend to use it for full swings. I use an S grind for the sand wedge because I keep the face square when I play that club. And then I use an M grind in the 60 because I manipulate the face with that one. Moving on into the irons, I play the T100 S's. The S's are slightly more de-lofted because I spin the ball high, which just allows me to fly the ball lower. Now I use pitching wedge to 4-iron in this set, and the setup of the club are standard in the lies. They are 6.5 Project X's in the shafts. They're half an inch longer, and I use mid-size grips. I do that because I got measured up in the pro shop and my hand size is perfect for mid-size grips. And yeah, they're fantastic irons. Moving from the irons into my top of the bag, I've got a lot of options here. So starting with the driving irons, I've got a 3-iron and a 2-iron. The 2-iron launches a lot lower and tends to roll out a lot further, and the 3-iron spins a lot more and goes a lot higher. So depending on the weather conditions on the day, I'll pull out one of these and I'll use either the 2-iron or the 3-iron. In the spec, they are both in graphite, hazardous smoke, 6.5 shafts and with mid-size grips. Now my first fairway wood option is the TSI Free 5 wood, which is 18 degrees of loft, which is very similar to the 2 driving irons that I have. However, it's way more versatile. So depending on the golf course that I'm playing, if it's a longer golf course and I want to use a club longer into the green off the fairway, then I need to have this in the bag to help me launch the ball up in the air off the fairway and get it stopping on the green. The spec of this, again, very similar to the driving irons, is a hazardous smoke 6.5 mid-size grip in the head. My second fairway wood option is the TSI Free free wood. This is a strong free wood. It's a 13.5 degree. The reasoning for that is for gapping, and also just like my irons, I do launch the ball quite high, so it just lowers that launch. The spec is a hazardous smoke 6.5 mid-size grip. But yeah, it's a fantastic free wood. I only really use it off the tee box, and it just gives me another option off that tee box. Moving on to the driver, I've got the TSI Free 8 degree head with a upgraded shaft of the Tour AD XC7 extra stiff shaft. I spent a long time at the fitting centre finding this shaft, and it made massive of difference. This has been the best club in my bag by far. The reason for that is because, like I said, the upgraded shaft made such a big difference for me controlling the club head speed. I've got the mid-size grip on it as well, which is fantastic, and because I've got an 8 degree head, it means that I'm not spinning the ball as much and I'm launching it a lot lower. Like I said, it's an absolute fantastic golf club for myself, and I'd highly recommend you all taking the time to make sure you get the right shot. My final club is the putter. I use a Scotty Cameron Golo 5, which came out a good few years ago. It's just trusty for me. I just know I'm going to putt well with it. It's got a line on the back which helps me line up the ball. Just feels so confident with this putter. I do have the new Phantom 5.5 coming, but we'll see if it can get in the bag over this. It's 34 inches and I do have a super stroke on it. Yeah, fantastic. Quick fire, what's in my pockets? Glove of choice, Permasofts. Stretching bands for before I warm up. Putting mirror when I practice my putting. And my ball of choice, the AVX Titleist ball. It's low spinning, low launching, which helps me out massive. If any of you out there are hitting the ball too high, try the AVX. Now, that's been my what's in the bag. Over to Lewis for his custom video.
Okay guys, so for this week's custom fit video, we're going to be talking about wedges. We see a lot of different wedges in people's bags, and a common thing is very old wedges. Wedges that the grooves have been worn away massively, like this one for example, and they're not going to help your chipping game. Wedges that don't have any grooves left or very worn down, they're going to spin either an awful lot or nowhere near enough compared to the newer wedges. So let's have a little hit of an older wedge which has been completely worn away, and then we'll have a go with a brand new SM9 and compare the differences. So now all the shots have been hit, let's ping up the first lot of data on screen here. We can go through the differences. So you have the old wedge in purple and the newer SM9 in yellow. And the first thing you'll see is the ball speed. Ball speed is not a huge difference, slightly more ball speed in the SM9, which is fantastic. To mention, these are both 52-degree wedges as well. So stats-wise and number-wise, they should be fairly similar. But if we look at the launch angle, SM9 launching a lot higher and spinning a lot higher. So with a 52-degree wedge, that's certainly something I'd be looking for. With the older wedge there, it's spinning very low. I'm not going to get as much control as I'd like to see. That sort of number with the old wedge is what I'd expect to see with my kind of 8 or 7 iron. Moving on from the spin numbers, we then have the carry distances. Very similar, which isn't too bad. But then if you have a look at the rollout, there's a couple extra yards of rollout just because that spin wasn't quite high enough. But we need that spin to be high enough so that we get the control we need. The stoppage, and especially with the 52, maybe even a bit of backspin. So that's why the newer wedge is so important. The grooves are so fresh, they get an awful lot more feel. That's one thing I noticed. With the older wedge, it felt really rough as I was hitting it. I didn't get as much feel out of it. If I mishit it, didn't feel great at all. Whereas with the SM9, every shot felt very, very similar, whether I hit a misstrike or whether it was quite nice. So if we look at the trajectory graph, we can see that the one in yellow, the SM9, was going a lot higher, rather than the older wedge going a lot lower. Something I'd love to see from a wedge. The descent angle is going to be a lot higher with the newer wedge. Get that ball stopping a lot quicker. Now, the dispersion graph, you can see the yellow circle is tiny compared to the big purple circle. That just proves that the consistency from the SM9 is a lot better. Newer technology, newer grooves, and much better feel. Now, if you are looking to upgrade your wedges or would like to find more about how some new wedges can benefit your game, especially in the short game, it's so important, then pop down and see us in the shop or pop me an email. So that was my custom fit video of the week. Now over to Alex, who's going to be talking to you about the rules of the week.
Hello and welcome back to the rules of the week for this week. Now, today we have a few ones from the members again. Let's move on. Now, you join me down here at the practice hole where we have simulated a scenario that we got sent to us via email. Thank you very much, by the way. Now, what's happened, we've got a pitch mark and the ball has ended and the pitch mark is in the way of that I want to go. Can I do the pitch mark and sort it out so I can then putt? No. We have to play around it, but remember, once you hit the shot, please make it nice for other people playing the golf course and repair your pitch mark afterwards. However, if you wanted to move it, you could if it was winter rules, because you could do pick and place, and then you can have a free putt towards the hole. If you wanted to do that in the summer, unfortunately, 1-shot penalty. You'd have to move it, and you do it that way. As you can see, we're on the move, on the way to the second, where the second rule of the week is going to be. You join me down at the second, right of the second, where the bridle path is. Now, I'm going to take you down, and we've got a ball here on the bridle path, and I'm going to talk to you about if we get relief or not. So, if you join us. Now, as you can see, my ball has finished on the bridle path. However, there are no horse markings, hoof markings, anywhere around the ball. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to play that as it lies back onto the fairway. However, if we move the ball down to this point here, if I move this stick and my ball comes to rest clearly in this hoof mark, I get to take a 1 club relief, no nearer the hole, and then I can play from that point. That wraps up another rule of the week here in the newsletter. If you've got any more rules that you'd like us to cover, please come in and let us know. This one's for Terry. Back to Lewis.
Yeah, again, thank you so much, Alex, for the rules of the week. As always, if you want to see more rules, I know you're all loving these videos on the rules of the week, so make sure to comment what you want to see, or come and see us in the shop and suggest different rules you want us to explain. Now, I heard on the Wednesday competition this week, someone had a hole-in-one. Let's go over to Rob, who has found the culprit.
Paul Martin here, Harpland Common Golf Club, just played in the Meadow. Tell me what happened.
Last hole, what can I say? 8 iron, 2 bounces, straight in the hole.
So
Yeah,
how was
gross 76.
Gross 76. So how was your round going before that?
It was steady. It was all steady. 4 over front 9, and I was 4 over at that stage for the back 9. So I thought, well, all I've got to do is hit the green and 2 putt and walk off with a 78.
Brilliant.
And 2 bounces in the hole.
What's your handicap?
11.
So might be a bit.
Well, it was.
Brilliant, mate. Well done.
Cheers,
well
Rob.
done.
Cheers.
Well done, Paul. Great to hear some good performance out on the course with a hole-in-one. Now, got a great deal for you on golf bags. So let me show you around first of all. So we've got bags like this, the Titleist one, which is fully waterproof, stand and double strap. Looks very stylish. Around here, we've got a smaller one. This is perfect when it was the trolley band, but they're still great to go up the range out in the evening for a few holes. Motor Caddy range, that's the fully waterproof one, perfect to sit on the trolleys with the click bottom. Don't even need the strap on the bottom. What else we got? We have the fully waterproof Callaway bag with an easy carry strap here. I think that looks pretty cool with a 14-way divider. What's here from? Oh, here we go. This is Cobra. This is the Ultralight Pro. Really, really nice and light. Again, looks pretty stylish, but we've got a full range from all the brands. Now, the deal is a free Harpland Common logo towel to sit nicely on them bags. Now, the deal is till the end of the month, so month of April, on carry or cart bags. Right, let's go over to Mark, see what he's got to say.
Let's talk about spikes. The ground's getting firmer. Check your spikes, they might need doing. If so, come in the shop and we'll do them for you. Just give us 5 minutes and they'll be done. They're $14.99 just to get all your spikes redone. Come into the shop today. No problems, just solutions.
Yay! Yay! Kaboom! Yay! Oh, man. Oh, he's done it. Shot, Carol.
So that was a few shots from the captains and Ryan Hodges, scratch team captain, opening up the 17th and 18th tee boxes here at Harpland Common. As you can see, they look absolutely fantastic and are now open for use in competition. So can't wait to start using these tee boxes. Now, that was our weekly video. Make sure to continue to comment your ideas that you want to see, and we'll see you in next week's episode.